Today I want to show you guys these super neat Sumo illustrated ranking charts that I've gotten. So, professional Sumo, they always release what is known before a tournament, and there are 6 tournaments a year every other month. And before each Grand Sumo or Professional Sumo tournament, they release what is known as the Banzuke, which is a ranking chart of all the wrestlers. And if you don't know anything about sumo, this is a little bit complicated. Basically, professional sumo has 6 divisions, and based on ability. But then within those divisions, particularly the top division, the wrestlers themselves have individual rank. So I got these 2 illustrated banzuke or a banzuke of the top division. So these are the top division only. The top division in sumo is fixed at 42 wrestlers. And these banzuke, the normal ones, are generally just done in calligraphy with the wrestlers' ring names. And they can get really crowded because some of them do every division like on one sheet. So you're talking dozens and dozens of wrestlers, but some of them are the top division only. And these illustrated ones that I got are the top division. So you can see, I'll just kind of give you a rough idea of what they look like. They're really beautiful. I got these directly from the Kokugikan, which is the professional sumo stadium here in Tokyo. And this is actually the banzuke for the top division for the current tournament, the March tournament, which is happening right now. It's almost done. It'll finish up in a few days. So you can see basically, as you might expect, this goes from the bottom to the top. The wrestlers on the bottom there are the lowest ranked, and then the guys at the top, as you might expect, are the higher ranked wrestlers. So within the first division, and this is the division, of course, as you might expect, that most people care the most about. It's the top division. It's the best 42 wrestlers in pro sumo. And within the top division, as I said before, they have individual rank. Now, starting at the bottom, most of the wrestlers are ranked at what is known as Maegashira. And there are usually 17 degrees of Maegashira. Are you with me? So around 17, and usually one wrestler, they call it East and West. So the East over here, West over here. There isn't really that big of a difference. East is considered a little higher than West in terms of ranking, but there's not really that much difference. So there's a bunch of Maegashira, and then after that, you get into what is known as the Sanyaku ranks. And the Sanyaku ranks have their own titles, and that starts with Komusubi, and then it goes up to Sekiwake and Ozeki, and then finally Yokozuna. And I won't get into all of that. Yokozuna is probably something you've heard before. Yokozuna is the highest rank in sumo, and any Yokozuna is easily identifiable by the, Yokozuna that he wears around his waist during, not of course while he's wrestling, but during, pre-tournament ceremonies and other things like that. He is entitled to wear the special rope. So Yokozuna literally means horizontal rope in Japanese. So that's where the name Yokozuna comes from. And this one, I'll show you my other one first. So this is the ranking chart from the current tournament And then I also got the one from the January tournament. So as I said, these tournaments, there are 6 professional sumo tournaments a year, every other month. So this is the one from the January one. Now, they'll look pretty similar. There'll be some minor differences as wrestlers are demoted or promoted or gain rank or lose rank within the top division. Maybe the biggest difference here, if you look at the Yokozuna there, this is January, and so this is Teruno Fuji, who retired. This was actually his final tournament, and he dropped out very early into the tournament. Basically, he had nothing left in the tank. But this is Teruno Fuji. And then I'll show you again the other one. So Teruno Fuji retired, and then actually what happened is we got a new Yokozuna. But I should say, in terms of Yokozunas, there doesn't have to be a Yokozuna, and there could be more than one Yokozuna. But how it worked out, there was one, and then he retired, and there's another one. Now, promotion to Yokozuna is not, there isn't like rigid criteria that if you do this, then it's somewhat based on results, vibes, but we did get a new Yokozuna at the end of that tournament, the one that Teruno Fuji, during which Teruno Fuji retired. So this is the current Yokozuna, and this is Hoshoryu. And Hoshoryu, and like Teruno Fuji, is actually Mongolian. Now, actually, if you didn't know, sumo has for the past couple decades, basically all of the 21st century been dominated by Mongolians. So sumo's GOAT, Hakuho, who is retired now, the greatest sumo wrestler ever, is Mongolian. And Teruno Fuji, the guy I said who retired, is also Mongolian. And Hoshoryu is, you guessed it, Mongolian. So, Mongolians have dominated sumo, as I said, for the past couple decades. Hoshoryu, this guy was, as I said, promoted. This March tournament is his first tournament as a Yokozuna, and actually he has already dropped out. And there's definitely some... Basically, he was not doing very well, sort of mid. He was, I believe when he dropped out, he was 5-5 for the tournament, which is really not where you want to be as a Yokozuna. And, of course, a lot of people are saying, probably with some truth, that Hoshoryu was sort of hastily promoted to Yokozuna because the Japan Sumo Association, which administers professional sumo, was kind of in desperate need of a Yokozuna. They don't really want a situation where there is no Yokozuna because it's kind of boring, or that's, so it's just more exciting to have the highest rank there. But Hoshoryu did basically do the bare minimum. It's not like his promotion was a sham or anything. It's just, especially now, given how lackluster, to say the least, his debut tournament was as a Yokozuna, that a lot of people are sort of, this promotion was, sort of hasty, and there's probably some truth to that, but hey, you never know. Hoshoryu could put it together and be just fine. So I'm actually going to go through a couple other wrestlers with some sumo cards that I have. So my arms are actually getting kind of tired holding these up, so I'm going to stop doing that. So let's look at some cards then. These are all from a set last year that was released by BBM. Who do the baseball cards. They release a couple sumo products a year. And these were, I believe, released in April or May of last year. So I'll kind of put these in pairs. So these are the two guys I was talking about earlier. And so this is the former Yokozuna who recently retired, Teruno Fuji. As you can see, wearing the distinctive rope. Teruno Fuji won in his career 10 Grand Sumo tournaments, which is quite good. And actually, Teruno Fuji had one of the greatest comeback stories in sumo history. He fell from the top division through injuries and things like that. He fell all the way back down to like the lowest division and then clawed his way back and became a Yokozuna and then ended up winning 10 tournaments total. So, and then this is the other guy I was talking about, the new Yokozuna. This is Hoshoryu, also from Mongolia. Now, as you can see, they're different colors. These are not parallels. How this set works is the different ranks are basically color-coded. So this card last year, Hoshoryu was an Ozeki, and Ozeki is the second highest rank. Hoshoryu now, when this set is released, probably in a couple months, I think, Hoshoryu will be shown wearing the rope, right? And he'll be purple, presumably. And then here's a couple other ones, maybe just some wrestlers of note. This is Koto Zakura, who is an Ozeki, second highest rank. Koto Zakura is considered one of the wrestlers who may represent he may be a contender to become a Yokozuna. He's considered a favorite, although he had a chance to be promoted and did not, and then he's kind of been struggling. But he represents one of the candidates, sort of the hope of the Japanese for a great Japanese Yokozuna, because, as I said before, the sport has actually been dominated by Mongolians. And so Koto Zakura, he is the grandson of a former Yokozuna, also Koto Zakura. And as you can see, if you caught it, he's actually called Koto Nowaka on this card, but he changed his ring name to his grandfather's ring name. And then let's see, I'll move on to a couple others. So I was saying kind of like, so of course Japanese sumo fans are itching for a great Japanese Yokozuna at long last. There has been a Japanese Yokozuna within that time frame. Kiseno Sato was a recent Japanese Yokozuna, but he was not very successful as a Yokozuna. I think he won one tournament and was only in the rank for about a year and a half. He had a lot of injury problems and things like that. So speaking of him, actually, this is Ono Sato. And Ono Sato is one of Kiseno Sato's proteges. And Ono Sato is, like Koto Zakura, probably even more so, is considered sort of the great Japanese Yokozuna hope. This guy is something of a prodigy. This card, as you can see, it's green. It shows him last year at the rank and file rank of Maegashira, but actually Ono Sato has climbed all the way to Ozeki, the second highest rank. He's already won a couple tournaments. He is a strong favorite to win the current ongoing tournament. He could very well do that. He's in position along with a couple other wrestlers. And like I said, Ono Sato is considered sort of one of these guys who's something of a prodigy, something of a golden boy, and he is widely considered to probably become Yokozuna one day, maybe sooner rather than later. Along with this guy, and this is Takeru Fuji. Another sort of prodigy. These guys are similar in that they're both considered strong candidates to eventually ascend to Yokozuna and become great Yokozuna. And also, they're similar in that they both actually went to college, which is not common for sumo wrestlers, professional sumo. It's not the common path, but these guys both competed in collegiate sumo, and they're both very top guys. Takeru Fuji got injured, and so he's still Maegashira, lower ranked than Onosato, basically, because he got injured. But these guys are kind of sort of joined at the hip because of their various similarities. It's thought they might become kind of rivals as Yokozuna, even if we get a situation where they're both Yokozunas. And then this one, this kanji here means first. And basically this means that this is like Takeru Fuji's rookie card, which is pretty cool. So, and then maybe just a couple other, highlight just a couple other wrestlers. This guy is a fan favorite. Won a lot of people like Ura. Now, he's not really, in terms of his ability or his career trajectory and things like that, he's not really very remarkable. He's a Maegashira. He doesn't really seriously compete for cups, tournament wins. But he's always a crowd pleaser. He has a kind of, I guess you could say, spirited and unpredictable wrestling style. So like I said, he's definitely a crowd pleaser. And then you've got this guy, Oho. I guess you could put Oho in the same category as like Onosato or Takeru Fuji. Maybe not quite the same. However, Oho is from some pretty outstanding sumo pedigree. His grandfather was Taiho. And Taiho is basically, by accomplishments and tournament wins, the second greatest sumo wrestler of all time. And I guess you could call him the greatest Japanese sumo wrestler of all time, which sounds very strange and would be a really weird thing to say like 30 years ago. But like I said, sumo has been dominated by Mongolians for the last couple decades, and the GOAT, Hakuho, is Mongolian. So Oho's grandfather, Taiho, he is the greatest Japanese sumo wrestler of all time, so he's definitely got some big shoes to fill. A big mawashi to fill? Mawashi is the loincloth that they wear when they wrestle, so they don't wear shoes. And then let's see here. I'll end it with these two guys. So this is Tobizaru. Tobizaru has an amusing ring name. It literally means flying monkey. And then this guy, Ryuden. Now, I highlight these guys because I would say these two guys are probably the closest thing that you have to, like, heels in sumo currently. Tobizaru is kind of perceived as fighting a little bit dirty. He always seems to have some tricks up his sleeve, or does things maybe slightly underhanded. It's nothing like too egregious. Like I said, this is the closest thing you might have to like heels in professional sumo, although they aren't really that. So Tobizaru, and then Ryuden, it's more just because of his off the field antics. Ryuden actually cheated on his wife with multiple women, and then one of them he actually got pregnant and then sort of compelled her or pressured her to terminate the pregnancy and things like that. So Ryuden isn't really considered a stand-up guy off the field, outside the ring, I should say, not off the field. So these two guys, yeah, Tobizaru and Ryuden, just to give you an idea, yeah, there are kind of like sumo does periodically have its heels. So, all right, well, that's it from you guys as always. Thanks for watching. Peace.